it involves much more than just selling, than just advertising. It also involves, it's a process of creating, communicating, and delivering value to the target customers or to the market. Yeah, so just recap on that. If you missed, we did quite define and looked at the American Marketing Association definition, which states to be a bit comprehensive in terms of it captures both what marketing is and how it is done. It captures both the art and the science of marketing. The art is what it is, the science is a process. So we say it is a set of institutions and processes that are involved in creating, communicating, delivering offerings of value. So revisit that. We also did talk about the core customer and marketplace concepts, the core marketing concepts, or the core customer and marketplace concepts. I'll be sharing my screen so that we can be able to move it fast. Let's see if I'm able to do that. I want to imagine now you can be able to see my screen. Yeah, so these are the things that we really went through in our last introduction class. So we discussed the core customer and marketplace concepts, where I was telling you it would be a circular. It would be a circular. It would be a circular diagram depicting or illustrating the core things in marketing. To be able to really understand and at the core of marketing are these key elements or these key concepts. Needs and wants, we did define all those. The core marketing and customer concepts. Yeah, so that is just to recap. Yeah, we did distinguish between needs because that's where it starts, by identifying needs, wants, and quantifying demand. And we talked about value, satisfaction, and quality. We did talk about exchanges, transactions, and relationships, and also markets, as we define a market. In this context, is a set of actual and potential buyers of a product or a service. And I would want us to look at the marketing process briefly. The marketing process. Somebody needs to mute your mic. If you're using your phone, sometimes if you make a call or receive a call, it tends to unmute you. So just make sure you mute. I'm receiving an echo. Or do you want to say something? When you want to say something, I would also highly encourage that you put up a virtual hand in the menu of that virtual platform. Zoom. This is Zoom. You should be able to see where you put on, raise a hand. But I highly discourage use of any other types of emojis. I do not want us to use other types of emojis. Perhaps just raising a hand, because those emojis can mean different things to different people. Yeah. So raise up a hand, that's an allowed emoji. Okay. Avoid others. All right. So the marketing process. Remember, we said marketing is a science because it has a process, but it is also an art because it requires certain skills, creativity, and it's what is entailed in marketing. That is the art part of it. So we are saying in today's world of business, market must be seen as today's market is very complex. very complex because if you just think about what's been happening in the last few years, there's a lot of technologies that have come into play, and especially in the area of marketing. That is perhaps where technology has really made a very big contribution, even in other aspects of business, but in marketing, there's a huge, huge contribution or huge interplay of how technology is changing the way marketing is done. And that is a topic I would want to give in an assignment. You look at the changing landscape of marketing. I'm going to put the questions for the assignment in a more formal way. But one of the areas I'll be wanting you to read and research on is the impact of technology and ICT on marketing practice or on marketing. So in as much as technology has really affected marketing in a positive and sometimes in also some negative ways, but it is changing very frequently. As we know, that technology is also one of the most changing phenomena of our time. And considering these changes, it poses both challenges and also it brings about some opportunities. So considering these dramatic changes, especially occasioned by the developments in tech, in ICT, companies need to really be able to build good customer relationships and also create value that matters to the customers. So nowadays, then businesses must think beyond just making sales. They must think beyond the sales target or income, generating income. Because why you want to make sales is so that you can generate income as a business. And yet that's the backbone of a business. You can't have a business that is not generating sales. You cannot have a business that is not bringing income. And yet that income comes from the products that you're selling to the market. So the focus, really the focus of successful companies should be on delivering customer value. And I think we did have said this quite a number of times. Delivering customer value, we talked about customer value being a key concept in marketing. Core concept. We also talked about quality. So delivering customer value and also building lasting or long-term customer relationships. Now, so we can look at the marketing process using this diagram here. The marketing process. I hope you can be able to see it. Remember, when you are looking at a process, there's always the way it starts and how it goes. So that is what makes it a process. It's a stepwise. So this stepwise approach is critical. You start by understanding the marketplace and the customer needs. That is where you begin. So when you're coming up with a product or a service and a company is offering whatever it's offering out there, it is in response to some identified needs. So understanding the marketplace and customer needs, that is where the whole core concepts that we have talked about fall in. The 5 core concepts, that the needs and wants and demands in the product or the offerings, the products and services, the exchange relationships and transactions, and the other elements of that, the core concepts. So they come in within the first process, which is understanding the marketplace and customer needs. If I'm not losing anyone, I'm talking about this. These things come in there. These things are within that first step or first stage in the marketing process of understanding the marketplace, customer, and as well as identifying customer needs. Then the second step is to design. Now, once you've understood the marketplace, so there you're looking at even competition, what is being offered by competition by others that are in a similar business. or offering similar products? What is the gap that then your business is going to fill? Then you are able to design customer value-driven marketing strategy. So that means that the marketing strategy or how marketing is going to be done will be guided by the understanding the customer needs. So customer-driven or customer value-driven marketing strategy. We'll be looking at marketing strategy later on. There we have a number of areas like the marketing mix. So the marketing mix is a whole topic with subtopics that we're going to look at. And those are the elements, the key elements or components of marketing, including price, product, promotion, and place, which we call distribution. So the marketing mix strategy. Then you also have other marketing strategies. For instance, how you do marketing profiling. How do you do market profiling? We call that market segmentation strategy, market segmentation. So that is within the second step, market segmentation, targeting and positioning. Who do you want to serve? Because you cannot serve everybody. That is what it's about. Market segmentation, targeting and positioning. Now, somebody interfering with my screen, drawing lines. I think that is totally unacceptable. And that person has not named themselves. I said, when you enter here, come with your official names, tafadhali, your 2 official names, because I'm also checking who is here. So the identifying who to serve, for instance, their products, targeted to a particular profile of people. Some products targeted to women, that's an aspect of customer-driven strategy. There are women products, men products, targeting by age, the way you bring up some products for the young people, for older people. How you promote them is also relevant to that particular market profile or segment. So it's about market-driven strategy. Number 3 step or stage in the marketing process is having an integrated, construct or develop an integrated marketing program. So what exactly is going to be done? These are the marketing tactics, the marketing actions. How will the promotion be done? Through advertising, through digital and social media. Now, those are the specifics of the marketing program. So an integrated marketing program that delivers superior value to the customers. The other key stage or step in that process is to engage customers. So this is now building a long-term profitable relationships with the customers, customer service, customer relationship management, customer engagement, and so on and so forth, ensuring that customers are doing repeat business. They are repeat purchasing, they are loyal to your products, the company's products and services. And all that is geared towards step 5, which is capturing value from customers, getting something in return, capturing value from customers in return. This is what they pay for it, the value, the price or the revenue that now they give to the business because of those other steps before that. So capturing customer value, this is the ultimate goal of any business, to be able to capture value from customers, to be profitable, to create profits and customer equity. That word should be equity. When this lands on you, on your email or on your, when I share that, there's that diagram there, the last word is equity, not equity, something. I think there's a misspelling there. So customer equity. Equity is what you get from the customers. That's in terms of what they pay for the products, that generates income for business. So when you're looking at marketing as a process, those are the 5 key steps. Each one of them is loaded with content, topics under each of them. We shall be unpacking that as we continue. And if there's any question, I think I want to move away from the marketing process. And all of it is geared towards creating value for customers and building customer relationships. Any question or comment?
No comment.
Right, I don't see any, so we can progress. Marketing functions, did you do that assignment? Because this is part of what I had asked you to do. Some key functions, some key roles of functions performed in marketing. So we've highlighted them, the major ones. These may not be all of them, but these are some of the key functions or roles of marketing in business. The one is, one of them is buying. Marketing is involved in buying of raw materials to produce goods and services. In a business, whether it is supplying or producing physical products or even services, requires some goods and services, requires some suppliers to be able to also produce what they are producing or to be able to deliver the service they are delivering. So businesses are, one of the key marketing functions is to be involved in buying of raw materials to produce goods and services, and to purchase finished goods or services. For instance, what retailers and wholesalers, supermarkets don't sell products of their own. In most cases, they are getting those products from other businesses. So the retailers, the wholesalers, the distributors buy finished goods so that they can trade with them to the final consumers. So buying is a function that ensures that product offerings are available to who needs them in sufficient quantities, the right quality to meet the customer demand. The other key function is selling, because transactions, selling, so to sell the products or services to satisfy the needs. Using advertising, personal selling, sales promotions, these are promotion tools to match goods and services to customer demands. Then transportation or transporting is another function. This is making the products available, so creating the availability of products or services where they are needed, where they are required, moving products from one place to the other. And nowadays, we are not just talking about physical movement, there's also digital movement, because sometimes the products are digital products. But how do you avail them to the target market, the target consumer? So it's about transportation, it's about the logistics involved. So transport, moving products. Even if you order a physical product online, you will not need it delivered to where you are, if it's a physical product. So location, moving the product from production factories where it is produced to where customers can conveniently be able to access that product or service. Storage, the aspect of storage. So here you're talking about warehousing, proper storage. Products, if they're not stored well, they would diminish in quality. So the aspect of proper storage, use of proper stores and warehousing to store the products properly for further distribution. Standardization and grading, quality issues, quality assurance, quality issues, yeah. So to provide more quality products and services, then it is important to have grading and standardization processes. In Kenya here, there's, and not just in Kenya, but globally, there are those quality standardization bodies. In Kenya, we have the Kenya Bureau of Standards, KEBS. No product is allowed even to be marketed or traded here without being KEBS approved, that it meets quality standards for that product. So it's a work of marketing also to ensure that the products reaching the consumers or the customers are of good standard or good quality. So ensure that products meet the established and grading quality and quantity controls as well, quality and quantity. Size, weight, measures, and all that. So when you talk about size, weight, and other product variables, that is why every product must be stated. How much does it weigh? 500 grams, that it must really be 500 grams. Because if it's not 500, it is maybe wrongly 400, then you're not giving value to the customer. The customer is buying a 500 grams, but then the marketing must ensure that that product is as per expected measure, weight, quality, and so on and so forth. Financing, yeah, so providing financial resources to carry out various functions of marketing, for instance, to produce the product, to promote the product, to be able to avail the product through the channel of distribution. So that financing resources are required. So providing those resources to also do that. Risk taking in marketing, there's the risk involved, the business risk. Especially when any new product is introduced in the market, because you don't know how it is going to do, for sure. So, for instance, when a new product is introduced in a market, there are equal chances of success or failure. So, marketing also involves taking risks, dealing with uncertainty. Changes could happen in the market environment out there that may make the product maybe not receive the kind of reception that you would have expected it to receive with the consumers or the target buyer. Now, another key function of marketing is to gather market information, gathering and securing market information. Now, market should, the marketing and products and services and all that should always be informed by the needs, wants, and requirements of the customers. How do you know the needs and the requirements of the customers? Is by gathering market information. In this day and age, I think this has been especially made far much easier because of, again, technology. Being able to gather market information using technology, using digital, internet, social media, and the like has made it easier, but also through contact with customers when they come to buy the product, when they're interacting with the wholesalers, retailers, and the rest. So the outlets where they buy the product, again, a lot of market information can be collected at that point. So collect information about consumers, competition, the marketing environment, the channel members. Channel members are those who distribute the product, those who are involved between the producer and the consumer. Those in between there, we call them the channel, marketing channel members. So those are the wholesalers, the dealers, the retailers, any entity that will be in between the producer and the final consumer. We call them distribution members or channel of distribution members. They also have a lot of information because they deal directly with the customers. We don't deal with Coca-Cola, I'm sure. We drink those products of Coca-Cola. We drink the products of KCC or Brookside. We don't have any as consumers, really. We don't interact with those Brookhouse, are they what do you call it? Brookside. We don't interact directly with the Unga company, but we interact with where we buy the products and we can give our feedback there. And then those intermediaries or channel members can give that information to the producer. Maybe customers are complaining about one or two things about the product. So there is that securing and gathering of market information to inform the marketing activities, to inform the product and how it should be improved, or how the quality of the product can be enhanced. So those are the key marketing functions, and you could case you have any other that you may not have, I had given you that as homework. So maybe you also came across a few others. You could always contribute, especially on the chat. You can use the chat also. The chat is also available to drop in any comments, answers that are relevant to what we are looking at. Yeah. Any additions to the marketing functions or questions? Okay. Let's look at the concept of marketing. Yes.
What about pricing?
Pricing. Yeah, you could add it somewhere there. Yeah, that's why I said this list is not entirely necessarily complete. You can add pricing. Yeah, so pricing of goods and services, a key function of marketing. Any other? Market research. Market research, you could add that as well. As I said, you could add more here. Market research is about what identifying the needs of the market, perhaps a key, very key function of marketing. Market research, and now you will need to add the meat of those points there. You will add those ones. Any other? As you can see, I'm adding them as you're bringing them. Any other before we move on? Yes. We also had promotion. You're promoting, or is it in the chat? Yeah, I see promotion. Promotion. Now, in that is where you have advertising. I see somebody Deru has put Deru. Yeah, market research, advertising. So advertising comes together with promotion, is a part of promotion. Yeah, risks. We had talked about risk take. I think there was something about risk. We already had mentioned that. Customer relationship management. Yes. Yeah, risk taking is there. So promotion here, you'll have all those activities involved in promotion. So there you have advertising and all the others. I've seen also customer relationship management. Yes. As long as it's not maybe in between any other that we have discussed, you can bring it up. Product development, brand management. Yes. Yeah. So those are, plus the others, then are some of the other additional functions. Product development, yeah, critical. Product development, and you can add to that brand management. Okay, so I think we can move on. As you, in your assignment work, you might, that's why this list was not very exhaustive, because I know I'd given you to also look. Yes, somebody speaking? Right, so can we move on now to look at the marketing utility? Others you can add as the Nancy. when I started, Nancy, I don't know whether you're in class, but I said what is going to happen about notes. I think I already addressed that. Can we be joining the class on time, tafadhali? So that we don't have to repeat a lot of things that I have already discussed earlier. But anyway, I said notes will come soft copies. But I said we do 40%, you do 60%. That is a new model of learning. So like now when I'm asking you about those, it's because I'd already said in the last class that you look and read all the functions of marketing. And I'd said, in fact, I was not going to give any. I was going to leave that to you to do. So please pay attention, but also know that this knowledge is out there. So we are putting it into perspective. Like you have seen, I've put promotion. Somebody said advertising. I said advertising comes there. So our work is to guide you that we are doing here. So advertising is part of promotion. It's not like we have left it. In promotion, we also have what we call sales promotion. In promotion, we also have public relations. Public relations. All those are elements or aspects of promotion. Yeah. The others, I would want you to put them in. What do we mean by pricing? Placing a value on the product. The exchange value. What is market research? Identifying the needs, and the requirements of the target market. What is customer relationship management? So can you put in those in your own time? The explanations for those that I had not included in my earlier list. Yeah, I think that's a good discussion. So notes for those asking, I will share, but it is just a guideline also. Marketing utility. What is marketing utility? So another key topic here, marketing utility. What is utility? Utility generally refers to value. So utility refers to how a product can be useful, the usefulness of something. Usefulness of something. So utility refers to how a product or a service can be useful to the consumers in a way that convinces them that they need to part with something. Yeah, you don't buy something that is not of value to you. We are all consumers. Again, in marketing, we are just putting things into perspective because we are all consumers. I'm sure we buy things. We all buy stuff. So what makes you buy something is because it's of value to you. You would not buy something that you don't think is valuable. So marketing is about creating that utility. And that is why we are looking at marketing utility. So the utility marketing model involves identifying the need. Yeah. That is why you'll find us revolving around the needs a lot, because consumers don't just buy things for the sake, we buy to satisfy a need. All right. So identifying the needs of a particular consumer group and aligning your products and business activities to meet those needs. Yeah. So creating utility in marketing involves discovering how to integrate a product into a customer's lifestyle by emphasizing how it will help them solve a particular problem. In the last class, we gave examples of hunger, thirst. Yeah, if it's a thirst, then the company would emphasize how their drink is the best quencher of thirst, that it will come in cold mode, it will be chilled, so that it even satisfies your thirst need better than others, and so on and so forth. So how you integrate a product into a customer's lifestyle by emphasizing how it will best solve their problem, or what we call in marketing, their pain points, identifying the customers. So nowadays you find common use of terms like customer pain points. What is the pain point? What is it that the customer is looking to satisfy? What problem or what are they deprived of? What need do they have? Customer pain point. So a good marketing utility strategy then helps to identify what factors influence people's buying habits or people's consuming habits, and then integrating those into the promotional campaigns. I think let's talk about promotional campaign, not necessarily just advertising, because advertising is just one of them. So it's where you tell people how, in marketing communication or promotion, how your product is the best to satisfy that need. Types of utility in marketing, types of utility. We look at a number of types of utility or types of value. When we say utility is really simple terms, we are referring to value. So we want to create form utility in marketing, form utility. And form utility is how you change the physical state of a product from one state to a more valuable state. So for instance, the whole production process, if you think of physical products that are manufactured, that manufacturing or that processing from raw material to some kind of is really aimed at creating the form utility, changing the state of something into something that is more valuable. So a final product then is the representation of the form utility, a fully assembled product that then satisfies the needs of that target market. So how you bring together the various ingredients, think about that soda. What are the ingredients there? There's water, there's, whatever they have put in there, flavor, sugar, and all those put together. Think about of an electronic device, your mobile phone there, or whatever other gadget you use, bringing together metal, steel, I don't know, and rubber and all those things to then give us a gadget that we can use, a phone, a laptop, whatever else it could be. All right. And that is why then we pay the price, whether it is that 10,000 for the phone or 50,000, because it's a thing that you're able to use. All right, so yeah, that's about form utility. Task is mainly associated with companies that are involved in providing services. And what must you put together to ensure that you give a service that is of value? Remember, in services, we said services are intangible. Services are not physical things. You cannot assemble them, cannot, display them out there. Services are intangible, but yet think about services, things like what? Which are the services that you can think about quickly? Services, banking services or financial services, insurance services, medical services. Which are the services? Personal services, laundry services, childcare services, legal services, all those. What is it really that the customer is buying? And the customer here is buying the task, what is performed. That is why we call this task utility. What must be performed by the company to ensure that the customer gets what they're buying, that they get the service. So in this case, then a company must put together, like for instance, think about medical services. I'm sure we all are at some point needed medical services. We must put together a competent team of people, doctors, nurses. Yeah. And they must perform a certain task. That doctor must perform a certain task. When you go to get those services, they will be checking you, they will be injecting, they will be sometimes performing surgery and all that. So the tasks that then make the service available. In the bank, what are banks doing to avail their financial services? Yeah. The learning and the teaching is the service, what I'm doing here. Services of teachers to students, services of lawyers to clients. So they must perform some tasks to deliver that service, and that is the task utility, especially when it comes to service businesses. Now, time utility is the idea that a product is needed at a certain time. So we must make sure through marketing that we avail the product as and at when the customer needs it. All right, so it's the idea of making supply meet demand. The idea of supply and demand comes from this particular aspect of time utility. So if I need the product all the time, then you're talking about 24/7 provision of that product. And that is what outlets such as convenience stores, say supermarkets. Convenience stores are like supermarkets that are open 24/7, 24 hours. They're open throughout the day and night. So they must make sure they provide that service or that opening of their business, 24 hours, because petrol stations, think about petrol stations which operate, because customers would be needing that fuel anytime. So providing, understanding your customers, the product you're offering, and when they need it, making sure it's available to them. I think technology, ICT, information communication technology, has made this much easier. Think about now how we're able to access even financial services through. There's somebody speaking.
Says someone in history, a physicist calculated that a bee's wings.
Hey, Victor, I think you're either having entertainment behind bars or whatever. So there's the aspect of financial services now. The example I was giving with internet banking, mobile phone banking, so that avails the financial services 24/7, and even things like M-Pesa, Airtel Money, and the like. So a business must think about how conveniently the customers are going to access their products or services as and at when they need them. Place utility is about the place. It's about now, again, logistics of making the products available where. So the issue here is where. Well, on time it was when. So here we're looking at where the customers will conveniently be able to get the product. So Coca-Cola and their products, and I keep using that example for especially basic products, making sure that the sodas are available anywhere, in the kiosks, in the supermarkets, in the hotels, with the hawkers, because that thirst can, in any time, their customers would be having, want to quench the thirst. So anywhere you look, there is a Coca-Cola, Fanta, whatever soda. If you're a fan of soda or water, something to quench thirst is available. Those who are in the eatery business, making sure that those eateries are also available conveniently to where people are. So please, how you distribute your products nowadays. Now we're talking about e-commerce also. E-commerce is the aspect of providing products. The whole transaction from shopping to ordering online is also creating place utility. That you can go online, order the products even from Carrefour or Naivas, and then Naivas or Carrefour supermarket has to think of how to deliver. And now that has brought in other innovations, like the delivery services, the Glovo, where now you just order what you normally order. Then it is a headache of the supermarket to know how that product will get to you wherever you are. So creating place utility. Now, possession utility is the idea that consumers can gain value from a product simply by owning it. Simply by owning it. So making it easy for customers to possess or to own the product, protected by both time and place utility. So the company ensuring that the place and time utility are well established, then also gives the customers the comfort of possession. Think about now this whole idea of ordering things online. One of the challenges is will the product actually be delivered? So the back of the mind, and sometimes I'll order things online myself. I don't know whether you people, who of you have done it. At times you're concerned about, will they deliver? How long will they take to deliver? At which point do I pay? Do I pay when I'm ordering online, or do I pay once the product has been? So the whole aspect of possession, you must make it much more convenient for the customer. And so you see most of the companies where you're ordering online, they'll tell you pay on delivery. Yeah. Because you, as customer, you're more comfortable that way. That is how you gain possession. So make it easy for the customers to pay. For instance, if it's online, payment options, yeah, through M-Pesa becomes much easier. Than when they talk about you have to enter your card, credit card and debit card details, gets a bit uncomfortable. So make it as easy or as convenient for the customer, the payment options, how to pay for the product. All right, so facilitate the customer ownership in a way that is also convenient, for the customer. Information utility. The question of notes, let it not, I will not keep on repeating that question of notes. This means that people are not in class. They were not also in class the other week. So allow me not to keep on talking about notes. Please don't ask another question about notes. Wale mnaingia masaa haya, unawajua. So information utility is a new addition. And this is about, in the world we're living in now, there is a lot of information. And information can make a whole lot of difference. So how you create the awareness and giving the customers the information. Rogers, I think I will remove some people from this class because it's becoming, why would you be drawing on my board? Yeah. I don't know what you're up to. So availing information that will make customers be able to make informed decisions. For instance, telling them about how the product works. There's some products you buy and you need to know how it works. Directions for use. In a lot of products, you'll find they have put in the package directions for how to use the product, the ingredients in that product. So it's about giving information utility. So you can use information utility when you're advertising, when you're promoting the company's products, to tell the customers or the market, prospective customers, what the product is made of in terms of ingredients and all that, to tell the customers the specifications of the product. Think about an electronic gadget. When you're buying a laptop or you're buying a mobile phone, you need to know the features. So that is part of giving information utility. The company must tell you this particular gadget has this operating system. It has this strength of camera and video. It has this storage space. You're giving information that will help the customer make a more informed decision. So other ways is to provide customer service lines. Think about our telephone services. They always have those customer service or customer care lines, or even customer self-service facilities nowadays, which are made much more easier also by technology, using automation. If you want to ask questions and you have inquiries to Safaricom, you dial a number, it could be you dial 100, and there's a whole automated system there that answers most of the questions. If you want to do this, press this. If you want to inquire about M-Pesa, press 4, whatever. So availing that, the way customers engage with the product or the service in a much more convenient way. With technology, much easier. Website nowadays, your company's websites need to be where people can get information about that company's products or services. Social media engagement, these days, all companies, big or small, you really must have an online, presence. Online presence. They must have their Twitters, their Instagrams, their whatever social media where people can also engage and interact with them. All right, so it's about the right information at the right time to assist in decision making. Any questions about those utilities? Types of marketing utilities that you must, a company must offer. Any questions or comments? Any additions?
No. No addition.
Right.
Marketing orientation and philosophy.
Let's look at the marketing management philosophies. So the types of utilities, I think we've discussed about how many, 6 or so? Yeah, those are basic value that any business must be able to deliver to their target customers. Marketing management philosophies. I think my screen has dropped, but I think we can still continue, and you write in a few things as I try to fix my screen sharing, which I think is having. Yeah. Screen has dropped. I'm acknowledging that, but that doesn't mean we can't continue. Are you not writing a few things? Screen will be there. You must write clear. And clear, your microphone is up. You want to say something? Kwani mnaangalia tu screen? I thought you we can discuss, and then as you write a few things here and there. Yeah, screen has dropped. I don't know why. But, yeah, mwandike. Kuandika, as I said, is the sure way of learning.
Okay.
And research has proven in this age of technology, cutting and pasting, learning, writing remains one of the way your brain is able to retain, is able to retain some things. I don't mean you write everything. I mean, just write the key points, of course. Claire, Claire Wakubwa, you need to tell us what you're saying because we can't hear you and your microphone is on. And Grace Mutembe, is there something you want to say? Okay, just switch off your microphone if it's not to say something. Grace, can you hear us? It gives us an echo. It gives us an echo when your microphone is open, and maybe it is by mistake. So unakaa ukiangalia kama microphone yako iko on. If it's not that you want to say something, then you just and Grace, yours keeps on opening. You have an open mic. So no, it gives me the impression that you want to say something. That's why I keep saying, tell us. Is it a question or a comment? So as we try to restore the screen, and even if it doesn't come back, doesn't matter. I was saying we are discussing the marketing management philosophies or
Orientation.
marketing management orientations. But I hope you're not copying everything on the screen. No. I'll share the notes anyway at some point. as I said earlier. But that doesn't mean you don't write. Like Kevin is already confirming. Munaandika. Na ni kuandika na mkono, sio ile ya typing, kuandika kwa kitabu somewhere. All right, so if you can see it, just say yes on the chat. I'll be able to. I see right now it's okay. Can you see it, the screen? All right, yeah, Caston has confirmed. I said mujue na majina mawili. So Caston, please tell us your next name. Lucky, that looks like, I don't know if that's your official name, huh? But please, can you put in your two official names to avoid imposters and also know you the way the university knows you, that you're here representing yourself. So at least rename yourself, and that should also be easy. Rename yourself with your official two names. Otherwise, tutasema wewe ulikuwa imposter. So marketing management orientations or philosophies. Marketing management, and this is another area I had tasked you to go and look at in our last class. I had said you go and look at what are marketing management orientations, philosophies, and sometimes also called concepts. Those three words refer to the same thing. When you hear philosophy is just a way of doing things, yeah. So it shouldn't make you get very worried about these big names, no. So philosophy is about how you do things, how you try to understand the world around you. Is a framework on how we try to make sense of a particular issue, particular phenomenon. So here the issue is marketing. So marketing management really wants and desires to design strategies that will engage the target customers and build profitable long-term business relationships. So the question is, what philosophy or what framework, maybe another way to look at it is what framework or guidelines should guide these marketing strategies and efforts. What philosophy, what framework should guide a company in coming up with marketing strategies? That is what really we are looking at. Now, 5 alternative concepts, orientations, or philosophies have been suggested under which organizations design and carry out their marketing efforts or their marketing activities. So really, when you talk about orientation, is how a company seems to be carrying out its marketing agenda or its marketing activities. And these philosophies or orientations also somehow look at how marketing has been evolving, how marketing has been developing. So it's also about the evolution of marketing, how marketing has been growing or developing from when it was first, it was first studied as an area when marketing came into. Initially, historically, to think about it, marketing was really a part of economics as a discipline. So marketing was largely seen as part of economics, but somewhere in the 1950s, I don't know if they talked about the 1950s in this class, but in that era of industrial era is when now marketing started coming out really as a key discipline area out of economics. So these philosophies or orientations of marketing also spell out how marketing has been evolving over the years Any area of knowledge is always growing. There is no discipline or area of knowledge that is static. Every area is growing out of experience, out of changes out in the environment out there, out of theory, research. You find that any body of knowledge is also keeps on growing and keeps on evolving. So the first of these philosophies of marketing or orientations of marketing is the production philosophy or the production concept. And it's one of the oldest thinkings around marketing. It's one of the oldest schools of thought, one of the oldest concepts in business, under which the businessmen produce goods thinking that customers are interested only in low priced and extensively easily available products. So this orientation or this philosophy holds that. Perhaps that's where the main thrust or the main idea behind it is. It holds that consumers will prefer products that are widely available and inexpensive. That people will want to buy products that are widely available and inexpensive. And if you think about it, it was around the industrial era that this concept really was very much into play, or how market companies did. So they would produce with mechanization and auto and all that. They would be able to produce in mass production. So this kind of orientation tends to favor companies that are production oriented, producing high quantities of the product, and therefore they're able to achieve low cost, because in economics, you will tell us that there's something you call economies of scale. The more you produce, the less cost you incur. Is that correct? In general terms, if you produce, say you're producing or whatever item, it will cost you the same to produce 1,000 as it would cost you maybe to produce 10,000 of the same, because the machine is running on the same frequency and power and taking in the same. So as you produce, the high production efficiency is gained as you produce more products. But remember, not all products can be produced in mass. So this orientation mainly tends to favor products that are basic products, relatively high in demand, products that are maybe basic products, so that require mass production and mass distribution. And such companies tend to have mainly to be very focused on sales department, or rather have only sales department which sell products at a price set by the production and finance department. So the product is availed there at a low price, but also because the company is producing it in mass or doing mass production, therefore incurring less cost, and they can also be able to charge a relatively low price. Yeah, think about basic products, things like matchboxes, salt. Still, apply this because they are in high demand. The demand is quite high. So these can be adopted still within an organization for institutions such as, it is still applicable today, but the way to look at it is that companies tend to combine all these orientations, but seem to heavily rely on maybe one. But this is applicable, especially when the supply of the product is less than the demand. So for highly demanded, and that's why I mentioned basic products, products that are in high demand, and you can be able to sell more if you increase production. If the cost of the product is high, and the increase in production will decrease the cost of goods, that as you produce more, you will be able to gain economies of large scale production. Then that is also a situation where this production concept is applicable even today. So producing much of those mass products where the cost per unit goes low as you produce more and more. So it's not for customized products. Products that are customized may not fall into this orientation. So uniform products, standardized products, then would really apply this also, adopt this kind of mass production. I hope it's clear where it's applicable and what it holds. The next orientation of philosophy of marketing is a product concept. Now, this one went a notch higher. It holds that consumers will favor those products that offer the most quality. So it's the opposite of production concept. This one emphasizes more on the product quality, product performance, and innovative features. So here the idea is to produce a product of the highest quality, and assuming that customers will definitely favor products that are of highest quality, and they are willing to pay a higher price. They are willing to pay a higher cost for goods and services that have extra quality. It's still an applicable orientation or philosophy if you think of companies that provide very high-end, or call them very expensive products. Think of like in the line of let's say even perfumes and all that, jewelry, designer things. They'll still be clothes, but they are then designer clothes that are quite expensive. They are still jackets and pants and trousers and all that, and dresses. But if they are designer, they will cost a bit more. The original, whatever Gucci or whatever designer product it is, will be much more expensive. So, but then there's emphasis on quality, that customers will be willing to pay a higher price for the extra quality. I think about which other product can you think about? And I see somebody has contributed. Mercedes-Benz, is it Rashid? Yeah, in the range of cars. And there's Mercedes-Benz. But Mercedes-Benz is relatively more expensive, but perhaps it also offers higher quality. And there are others like the even higher range than Mercedes. I don't know which ones those are, but those who are car enthusiasts would tell us. The Ferraris and others that are even much more expensive because they have this emphasis on quality. Would the iPhones and the Apple products fall in these categories? In the whole spectrum of mobile phones and gadgets, you have Apple that really seems to follow this kind of orientation where their products tend to be very differentiated from the rest. If you think about their mobile phones, you have the iPhones, the whatever it could be. They even operate on a different operating system. I think when all the other say mobile phones are on Android, the Apple ones are on iOS, which then prides in a very high profile specs and all that, innovative features. So everything on theirs is different, from the others. And they are charging a premium. I don't know how much i16 or iPhone 16, I think is the newest, or I don't know whether it's the newest. But you can check the price. It must be in the hundreds of thousands. The new ones, not the not the refurbished. We mean the new model of iPhone compared with the new model of Infinix or Techno or any other. Then you can be able to see that the Apple products, whether it is their iPads or their Apple laptops or whatever it could be, there's a lot of emphasis on the features, on the distinctive high quality features, and therefore they're also charging a higher price. But the danger in this is that if management is so caught up in just focusing on the product, they may miss out on the customer needs. So that marketing myopia, where the management or the company thinks that the product is so great that people will just buy it at the high price. That may not always be the case. There needs to also be a checking on the customer needs and all that. But product concept really holds that the product is of highest quality and therefore can also be able to command a high price. Yeah, so designer products still applicable, high-end, products really targeted to very affluent, high-income groups of the market. But the DJ is too much focus on the product, which can make the company also lose it when it comes to customer needs. All right, so but I think that's clear. You can come up with a look at other examples, the high range cars, the high, all those high-end kind of products. You'll always find there's the quality. If you compare that Mercedes-Benz and a Toyota, or even a Volvo, maybe the kind of metal, the kind of material used is maybe not the mabati that is used on the kawaida Toyota and the other low end. So you find that if those two cars had an accident, then it will be clear one is a higher quality steel or metal. The other one is perhaps mabati and other low quality. They're still both cars, but quality tells you something else, so on and so forth. So can you be able to charge a higher price? That's perhaps the question to ask. Is there a market willing to pay that high price for the extra quality? So that's the question around that orientation. See, Rashid is correcting us. It's called carbon fiber. All right. Some of us will just call it metal. The material that is used to make the cars and all that, whatever it is, the planes. Yeah, it's some kind of fiber or whatever. How about the one that is used to make the low-end ones? The Toyota is still fiber. Inakaa mabati. Ingine hata ukilalia inabondeka. Bado ni fiber. Anyway, I don't want to go into the materials. I may not be so keen on the material, but I just look at it the way, from a customer perspective, it looks like a very kalia hiyo gari ya Nissan, unaona hata inaanza kubondeka hiyo Toyota. Kalia Volvo, hiyo bado iko intact. I don't know. So it's low. All right, let's leave that discussion of the type of material. I see Rashid again is saying Toyota is mabati. I'm not sure. Check the raw material that is used. But I'm sure some of them it's mabati. And nothing wrong with it. There's a market for it. There's a market for that car. And you can see the price. The price of that Toyota is perhaps less than $1 million. The price of that other high-end car is into the hundreds of millions. So the market is there. So in marketing, the issue is not the price. The issue is always the value. Who is willing to pay what for what? The market will always be there. So in marketing, you don't talk about cheap. You don't talk about cheap products. Not really. You talk about who is the target market. Because the basic car, if it's a Vitz or whatever, there's still a big market for that. They want convenience to move from point A and B. They can afford this much. But you also want to have those that are on the high end. And we are going to look at that when we are discussing market segmentation. There are those that we call the upper income groups, middle and low income groups. And that's how society is. We like it or not, that is how the world is, in terms of some people have a lot, others have maybe in moderation, others have very little. Unfortunately, that's the nature of the world. It has always been. So you have a product for every market. It doesn't mean where you are charging less that you will make less money. No, because then there you will sell more units. Yeah. So it's just the strategy the company takes. We are going to serve the low end of the market. There we are likely to sell more. And another one decides we will serve the high end of the market. They will pay a higher price. So even if we are making few units, those few units will still make us a profit, because then we are selling it up. And compare the price, as I said, of the mobile phone, because a mobile phone is something all of us use. i16 of iPhone, compare with the Techno, whatever model, see the price. So there is a market for this. There's also a market for the i16 that is in hundreds of thousands per unit. But then there's also the big market, the mass market down here, which can afford the 15,000, but they will buy more units. They will buy more of those units. So there's a place for all that. There's a place for the high extra quality, high price product. There's also for a place for affordable, low specs or low, not necessarily to say low quality, but maybe not as high specs product. Selling concept, I think we move on to the selling concept. This one holds that people must be pushed by consumers and businesses, if left alone, will ordinarily not buy the organization's products. So this is a concept where organizations undertake aggressive selling and promotion effort. So again, there are products that are fitted for this kind of an orientation. For instance, products where people don't think they need them. Products where we don't think we need them. We don't go out of our way to look for them. So these are not your basic products, these are products that perhaps consumers don't think they need them. Think about insurance, life insurance. There's a lot of selling, aggressive selling that happens around life insurance because nobody wants to think about death or what will happen to them when they die. I think it's not something we want to go shop around for life insurance. But so you find the companies that are in this business must do aggressive selling. Those selling in the property market, in the real estate plots and all that, mashaba, nini. Perhaps it's because we don't always go out, or we don't think we need those as much. Those selling financial products, loans, and so on and so forth. And perhaps others like Pombe and others. Let's remove soft drinks there. So they will do a lot of that aggressive selling. Yeah, those are products that people don't maybe think they need. So it's still applicable, but again, nowadays they are combining it with also answering to the consumer needs with those insurance products and so on and so forth. So most firms that practice a lot of selling will have salespeople. They will have a lot of effort towards convincing people why they need to buy that product. So it tends to have a lot of selling, salespeople selling involved, and a lot of aggressive promotion. Now, the marketing concept now coming more towards a more comprehensive kind of market orientation. So this one holds that the key to achieving organizational goals lies or consists of the company being more effective than competitors. So being better than competitors in creating, delivering, and communicating customer value. So again, you can see the concept of what marketing is here. But then it says that you must do it better than competitors. So here now, towards a more comprehensive philosophy or concept of marketing, is that the task begins with identifying the customer needs and wants and producing your products in a way that responds to those customer needs and wants. When this concept became common in the business world, the mantra or the major understanding was customer is the king. Customer is the king. So that tends to be the embodiment of this concept, that the customer is the king. And it emerged out of this view that we need to really just be focused. And it's still the case. It's still the case even today, though it has been improved on in terms of, we'll be looking at the societal concept But really, the marketing concept now became a much more comprehensive. So you consider the needs and wants. You also consider what competitors are doing and deliver your products and services better, offer better value than competitors. Aspect of delighting customers. So it's a market or customer-oriented approach. It's a customer-oriented approach that has an emphasis on customer satisfaction and also has an emphasis on profitability. That the company must also do it as at a profit as they maximize on customer value. There's a diagram here that I would want you to look at when you get this set of notes. The difference between the selling and the marketing concept on some key elements. For instance, the starting point. Where does the selling point start? The factory, manufacture the product, then push it aggressively. The marketing concept starts with the market, understand the customer needs. Yeah. And then come up with a product that is suited to those needs. What is the focus? The selling concept focuses on the product, the loan product, the financial, the insurance product, the plot of land, and so on and so forth. So focuses on the product. The marketing concept focuses on the customer needs. I think you can look at the other areas of difference between the selling and the marketing concept, because sometimes they two tend to be confused. So for you not to be confused, you can look at the differences between the two on those parameters that we have on the first column. So I'll leave you to do that, compare and contrast the selling and the marketing philosophies. So the other concept that we'll look at is the societal marketing concept. You can still, in this one, you find there's the marketing concept within it. So this was an improvement on the marketing concept. So the societal concept holds that organizations should determine the needs and wants of the target markets, create and deliver a value better than competitors, but also in a way that enhances the consumers and society's well-being. So the aspect that is new here from the marketing concept is the issue of doing everything, but still bearing in mind the impact that the activities of the company has on the society. All right. So remember, the marketing concept emphasized on customer needs. It emphasized on profitability, but had little to do with the society at large. So that is where the society concept comes in to improve on the marketing concept. That you do whatever you're doing, creating better products, identifying customer needs, and delivering superior customer value than competitors, but as you also take care of the society. What does that mean? That, for instance, the company needs to be concerned about the impact of their activities on the environment. So things like environmental concern, because you can profitably meet the customer needs, but at the expense of the environment. Yeah, how you discharge waste, how you don't conserve energy. All right. So the societal concept brought in all those aspects: societal well-being, taking care of the society, taking care of the people, of the environment, among other aspects that contribute to the societal well-being. So that's what it brings into the mix of how companies should carry out their marketing activities, not just meeting human needs and wants, not just making profit better than competitors, but also taking care of the societal well-being, or including the environment, among others. Not exploiting workers. So you're talking about being socially responsible. So the key aspect of societal marketing is social responsibility. Being responsible as a business to take care of the environment, to take care of the customers and people in general, even workers, because you can do business and making profit, but the company is not paying their workers in a fair manner. So that is an aspect of not taking care of the societal well-being. that the working conditions are not good. Again, another aspect of not being socially responsible. So here, the whole aspect is what we call balancing between the company's profits, consumer needs, and the public interest. That is the societal concept orientation. And it's something we call and this diagram here really depicts the societal concept, the societal philosophy, societal marketing concept, balances these things, three things. Society, which is the human welfare, taking care of the welfare of people, and balancing that with company profits as a company tries to make profit, that is doing so in cognizant of the welfare of the society, but also while also satisfying consumer needs and wants. So those three, striking a balance between those three aspects. And it's more towards now sustainable marketing. It's more towards what we call sustainable marketing. Now, those four or rather five are the key concepts of marketing. But of late, in recent times, there's an emergence of a new concept that we call the holistic marketing concept. That one I would want to give you as an assignment. This will be your part of your assignment. It's an emerging marketing philosophy. I will put it nicely as part of your assignment package. So there will be this question that you're going to really research on the holistic marketing concept, which is a more recent development into the marketing philosophies thinking. Unless there's any question, I think I would want to finish with those philosophies. So we have discussed 5, and I've told you the 6th one. You will do it in an assignment. It's an emerging one. But right now, I think it's much more, it still builds on the societal, it builds on the societal marketing concept, and it brings in a holistic approach where it looks at internal marketing, it also looks at external marketing, and it looks at the sustainable marketing. Those are 3 key components that are, or rather 4. It has 4 components, but I would want you to unpack that as you do that assignment. You will unpack the holistic marketing concept. Yeah. Things that you're given on assignment, they are considered handled. They can appear anywhere, whether it's in exams or cards, those things can appear. So don't just copy pasting, chat GPTing and all. Don't do that. It will not help you. All right, so I think with that, I want to conclude the discussion on the marketing philosophies. Unless there is any question. Because I mentioned that those marketing philosophies also show you a progression of how marketing has been evolving, and it's still evolving. As indeed I've told you to go and work on the holistic. So it's worth noting that in practice, organizations display a combination of marketing philosophies, but they tend to be looking like they are more skewed towards a particular one. Like we said, Apple company seems to be very product oriented, but they're also cognizant of the needs of the market. So a business might seem to be towards a certain one in a more pronounced way. Insurance companies tend to be very selling. Businesses that sell financial loans and all products that are not sought for. We call those products that are unsought. People don't think they need them. So you find that they still have to lean more towards a selling concept or a selling orientation. Basic products, companies producing them, salt, matchbox, milk, bread, they tend to lean towards a very production orientation, where they will produce in mass. They will produce those products in mass and price them relatively low. They'll be low priced. But still, you find that there is some aspect of trying to understand customer needs. That's why you find things like bread, have brown bread, white bread, sweetened bread, and maybe wholemeal bread. They're trying to still to somehow address the aspect of customers might have different preferences. There are those who prefer more whole foods, and others are preferring just the sweet bread, and so on and so forth. But then they will produce still more mass production. All right, so certain aspects of their marketing or their activities, certain aspects of the company's activities will suggest a particular orientation, while other aspects might suggest another orientation. So you should not we should not view these marketing philosophies or orientations as ideal, or that a company must follow only one. No, they will tend to skew towards a particular one, but still maybe follow a number of them. But really towards a more holistic approach, and societal and holistic is what is much more maybe for the businesses current way of conducting marketing, current way of conducting business should really be more with a societal and holistic approach, even as you emphasize on product quality, as you emphasize on selling the product aggressively, the company must still uphold a more societal, well-being and holistic approach. All right, I know my screen is not there, and yeah, it's down. It doesn't have to always be there. I bring it down sometimes also deliberately. It's just one of the methods of delivering content here. It doesn't have to always be there. When it goes down, don't get alarmed. It goes down deliberately sometimes because our discussion is not necessarily on what is on the screen. I hope that answers your question, David. Okay. I think we are moving on quite okay. So the screen will be up, will be down, so on and so forth. Like now it is down, it's likely to be down. So the next question, the next topic I would want us to address is the marketing environment. Marketing environment. The marketing environment. The marketing environment. Before we go there, I'll give you some, what do I call it? Some homework. I'm always giving homeworks. Those homeworks mean, okay, they're not necessarily assignment. I want you to go and read on the changing marketing landscape. The changing marketing landscape. The changing marketing landscape. And more specifically, your focus there will be on the digital era, the digital age implications. Hii ni area yenu sana sana. You are the people of the digital era, or we all are. But look at that. I put on the chart. Go and research on or read on and make some short notes. on those aspects. Is everybody able to see that on the chart? Before we move away completely from the introduction into marketing. So read on the changing marketing landscape, especially the digital age, where you'll come across online, mobile, social media marketing. You read and make short notes, give some examples as you do that, give some relevant examples. Is that something you can do? Yeah, that information is everywhere, but you need to just make sure you're referring to authoritative materials. Not just you just search that, a lot of things will come, but make sure that you compare a number of sources, the implications of the digital age on marketing, the implications of the digital age on marketing, and the online, mobile, and social media marketing aspects. Normally, what I would say about the impact of the digital era is not that the principles of marketing are changing, not really. It is the mode of delivery or how marketing is done that is changing. You still need to understand the customer needs, whether you're going to be relying more on online, on mobile, social media marketing. You're still dealing with people on the other end. So what the digital era or the digital advances in digital and technology have done is to bring in more possibilities of how to enhance marketing practice. So those are the implications I would want you to look at, the implications of the digital age on marketing practice. Is that now clear? Nobody's, oh yeah, see, yes, you have said it is clear, so you're mfanye, right? Part of it might be part of your assignment, but for now, I just want you to enhance that section of the notes with it. Rashid, I say you say you're considered done. If it comes in an exam and I see the answers don't reflect it was done, then that is where msema kweli anakuanga. But anyway, I don't doubt that you will do it. I have no doubts whatsoever. Remember, any homeworks given are also testable. They are also examinable. So now the topic I said I would want us to look at together is the marketing environment. The marketing environment. The marketing environment. Where are people going? I think we are half of what we were. Watu wameanza to end their class before mwalimu end class. I see those are the challenges of this online. So we started at almost 80. I think we are now, I'm seeing 50. What's going on? So the marketing environment. This time the screen is up. I hope you are seeing it. Now, so this is another topic, key topic. Did they share the course outline? Oh, now, I think I have not received the email addresses. Can I get the email addresses? Can you tell your class reps to send me email address? I don't share things on WhatsApp.